Hello, everyone. Welcome to Adventures in Good Health. I'm your host, David Maloof, and you have entered Doc's Herbal Corner. Today, we're going to talk about essential oils, what they are, what they do, and the top 5 essential oils that you need to be aware of. To walk us through is my guest today, Dr. Stephen Tates. Now, Doc is a herbalist, a naturopath. He is an author, an ambassador of integrative medicine, and he has over half a century of herbal medicine experience. So, Doc, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me. When you made that description, it made me feel old, especially when you said half a century. I'm like, and I like that terminology, but I'm like, am I that old? Yeah.
Well, you're experienced. You're experienced, which is why we want you on this show, because we want people who are on this show who know what they're talking about. And I believe that's you.
Okay, I appreciate that.
So, Doc, so today we're going to talk about essential oils, and I got a lot of questions just to get started. What are essential oils?
Well, some herbs, especially flowering herbs like chamomile, lavender, and stuff, they have a concentration of oil in the flowers themselves. Okay, so essential oils tend to come, in most cases, from flowering plants that have flowers. And the oils are carefully extracted from the flowers to be used for cosmetics, medicinal purposes. Plants that don't have flowers, they just got, roots and barks and stems. You can't really draw any oil because there is no oil to draw. So it's in the flowering plant in particular.
So how do people, how do they use them? How do they consume essential oils?
Well, most essential oils you don't consume, okay? Most of the essential oils, there are a couple exceptions to the rule, but most of them are used externally for their medicinal properties, whether it's reducing inflammation or stimulating nerve response or reducing pain. They're good when you use them like in diffusers, when you're smelling the scent of the oil, because the smell and scent is therapeutic, as well as applying it, mixed with other oils or carrier oils or with lotions or cream to use externally on the skin. So most of the essential oils are highly medicinal externally on the body, not internal, because some of those herbs that are really good externally are not good internally.
Okay, but that does vary from one essential oil to another. Is that correct? Or
Pretty
is that just
much
across the board? Okay.
Almost 99% across the board. There are some exceptions to the rule, but essential oil, because they're very concentrated. Now, some people may use some essential oil, and when they're gargling or washing their gums, but you still don't want to swallow it because these oils are very, very concentrated. They may smell good, they may feel good, but they're extremely concentrated. And most of them, I'd say 99%, are not to be used internally.
And now, a quick word from our sponsor, Dr. Tates, Herbal Tinctures and Tonics. Dr. Tates offers the Herbal Blood Tonic, Doc's Detox, Herbal Male Tonic, Herbal Female Tonic, and the Herbal Fat Burner. If you would like to order your tonics or learn more information, you can go to drtates.online. And if you click the link in the description and enter the special promo code Adventures in Good Health 2024, you will receive 10% off your entire order. For more information, click the links below. And now back to the show. All right, so that's kind of our primer on essential oils. You ready to get started with your list?
Yes. Now, which direction are we going to start? We're going to go one.
We are starting with number 5. We're starting with number 5.
Oh, we're going to do a countdown. Oh,
we're doing a countdown.
Okay. Well, so are we ready?
We are ready. Let's go.
I'm doing your host thing now. Are you ready?
I am ready to go.
Okay. Number 5 would be one there's people hear a lot of, and that's called tea tree oil. Right?
Tea tree oil?
Tea tree, TEA, like a tea or herbal tea. Tea tree oil. Now, this is different from the others. Tea tree oil is a strong medicinal essential oil. It is not to smell good. It's not for the diffuser. It's not for healing qualities in the sense of smell. It is designed to be used on the skin for medicinal purposes. Tea tree oil is an antibacterial. So applying to the skin for like fungus and bacteria and bumps and parasites and for pain, that's what tea tree oil is about. It helps with things like lice. I know I haven't heard that terminology in a while. Nail fungus, insect bites, acne. And it's because of this very, very strong antibacterial. So tea tree oil would be really good for a lot of us that have that, toenail or nail fungus. You use tea tree oil straight. Sometimes you use it with a carrier like maybe shea butter or coconut
Okay, so you're
butter.
kind of mixing it. You're mixing it in with something else then.
You can be probably better because it's so strong, and some people's skin is so sensitive that we want to make sure that they don't have that irritation that would come with that. Okay.
Now you mentioned fungus earlier, like you mentioned like toe fungus. Is it beneficial in any way for something like athlete's foot?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. Anything that deals with fungus or bacteria that shows on the outside of the skin. In previous podcasts, we've talked about, herbs that help internally, like our bitters and stuff to help with cleansing. But see, now when you use something like tea tree oil as an antibacterial, now you're doing an inside-outside thing. So like, say, for example, with toenail fungus, and you're using some bitter herbs to clean the blood. Now you've got the tea tree oil to apply on the outside of the skin, And I say mixed with something like maybe some, like I said, shea butter or sweet almond oil or witch hazel, because...
Which hazel? Which hazel should it be?
Yeah. See how you got me there. Okay. The hazel from TV from years ago. That's okay. That's okay. Cut me on that one.
But not that hazel. All right, not that
hazel.
Right,
not that hazel, no. But, and I always say, mix the tea tree oil with something else, because you only need a few drops, and then mix it with something else, because some people's skin is sensitive. To anything external. And if it's sensitive, what will happen is when you apply it, there may be more bumps and rashes because now you've told the body with the tea tree oil, let's cleanse in any direction that we can. Through the skin, through the blood, So it's better to start with a mixture of a lotion and then gradually go without it, but you want to start off being safe. It helps with cuts. It's poisonous when you take it internally. Okay, so, yeah. So I've seen some recipes where they say, well, use a little bit of tea tree oil with essential oil or mouthwash or something to really clean the gums, of plaque and fungus and stuff. No. Because tea tree oil is so strong, that you accidentally swallow some of this, now you got a crisis. So sometimes it's better to use something else.
So it's a powerful medicinal essential oil. But as such, there are things people need to know about it. So I'm gonna go ahead and make the assumption that before someone takes this, that they need to research, preferably work with a master herbalist or naturopath.
Absolutely.
Maybe perhaps let their doctor know, because it's medicine.
Yeah, and you make a good point with that, David, because I hear a lot of people that say, I've read about tea tree oil, I heard about tea tree oil, and they just start using it, and this is one of those, a lot of the essential oils, you want to know what you're doing. But tea tree is kind of like at the top when it comes to, having somebody guide you, especially when you're first trying to use it, because it's a powerful oil when used right. But that's true with almost any of the herbs. They can be very good if you know what you're doing, or if you get some guidance from somebody that knows what they're doing, like me.
Okay.
So that way they can be like, on the safe side when it comes to that.
All right. So, Doc, are we ready to move on to number 4?
Yes, number 4. We'll do a countdown. 3, 2, 1.
To number 4. All right. What are we talking about?
Chamomile.
Oh, chamomile. I love chamomile tea.
Yeah, chamomile is one of those herbs that you can use as a tea, and you can use as an oil. A lot of the oils you can't use as a tea, which makes chamomile unique, because chamomile helps with, as a tea, is very relaxing. It will help you sleep. It will help reduce stress. It will help, mildly get the body to cleanse and stuff. So chamomile tea is good. As a tea, especially when you mix it with peppermint, you got a real good taste. But we're talking about
very good tea.
Yeah, very good tea, and calming and help people go to sleep. But we're talking about it in an essential oil. But that's one of those ones you can use both ways, and you're using the flowering part of the plant. Okay. Now, chamomile helps induce sleep. It's so relaxing and calming when you use it as in a diffuser, or you mix, have it in an oil that you massage in certain points on the body, to help calm the body and help to induce that deep physical and mental sleep. Because, see, a lot of time we can be asleep, but the mind's still working.
Right.
So the tea, but also essential oil, breathing it, the aroma. Because, see, with essential oil, it's not just applying it, which is good, but it's also the smell and scent itself when it goes up into the nasal passages and stuff. It's really good.
So is it something that if somebody had a diffuser and they had it, say, at work, is this chamomile probably would not necessarily be a good idea, because if it really relaxes them and maybe makes them sleepy, that might not be good at work.
They might lose their job because the boss may come around and find them snoring.
So there may be better solutions than chamomile. But when you're at home, maybe it's towards the end of the day, or you're just ready to relax. It has some benefits, therapeutic benefits, perhaps at that time of the day, or will be the appropriate time for you.
Yeah, when you're home mostly,
You're at home.
We're at home. Whether you have it in a diffuser and you're smelling it, or it's in an essential oil that you're applying to the skin, like to the bottom of the feet, which, massage in there to help relax the nerve endings in the bottom of your feet. And those nerve endings are associated with different areas of the body, so it helps kind of calm and relax the whole body. So that works really well with that. But chamomile is number 4 out of the top 5.
At number 4, we're already hitting some good ones here.
Yeah. So there's more to chamomile. Okay.
All right.
I'm going to list some. I wrote them down so that the people that listen to the podcast can write their little notes. I'm going to take my time.
Plus, chamomile, we have everything in the transcript. There is a transcript.
There we go. There you go.
There we go.
Chamomile is good for hay fever.
Okay.
It's good as it helps reduce inflammation. Real good for muscle spasm. When you're applying chamomile oil or mixing chamomile oil with some lotion and stuff, and you got those spasms going on and the nerves are shaking, and you massage it in that area.
If you're massaging it like in that area, like if you're having some muscle spasms in your leg, you want to make sure I'm massaging my leg right here as if I'm demonstrating.
Do you have some chamomile with you?
I don't. No, so it's not going to help so much. But but you would massage that area.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of the body with the chamomile mixed in with another oil.
Yeah, but also if you have a muscle spasm and you massage the chamomile oil in the bottom of your feet, it will absorb to the nerves in your bottom of your feet to that area where you've got the inflammation or the muscle spasms.
From the bottom of your feet?
Yeah, because there's nerve endings at the bottom of the feet that's associated with every area in the body, like the acupuncture lines, the nerve line. So massaging the whole foot will help in muscle spasm, inflammation, and calming the whole body, let alone that particular area of the body. It helps with menstrual disorders. Right? A lot of women going back century would massage it, around their, below the navel kind of area externally, before or during their menstrual cycle, because it has that strong calming effect, which also, when it's calm and there's no inflammation, then the blood flow is better and the menstrual cycles are better.
Okay.
Then
perfect.
It helps with insomnia. It helps with GI distress or gastrointestinal distress, like with reflux and stuff. Massaging it again on the outside of the body. It helps because of the inflammation. It helps with rheumatoid or arthritic kinds of pains in the joints. So see, you think of chamomile is just a gentle little tea that just helps me relax you. But who knew that, chamomile oil deserves number 4, in our list. Like I said before, it's an antispasmodic. I want to make sure we got that. It has a sedative effect, okay? And it helps with allergies, hay fever, pollen allergies and stuff, because it reduces the inflammation, calms the system, things can start to drain better.
Okay. Now, are there any considerations that somebody may have that they may not want to take chamomile essential oil?
Side effects mostly, is nausea or dizziness, and that tends to come when people use too much. There's very few people that, might have an allergic reaction. Biggest problem with essential oils is people that are not experienced tend to use more with the essential oils than they have to, because most of the recipes call for like 2 or 3 drops, most 4 or 5 drops, in a diffuser, or mixed in with something. And people tend to think more means better. More does not mean better with essential oils.
I'm guilty because years ago I had a diffuser and I actually liked eucalyptus, and the directions said put 3 drops in this diffuser. I would put my 3 little drops. I was like, oh, come on, and I was like,
that's not enough.
I wanted to smell it, and so basically that was not. That's a common mistake people make, and
Yeah.
Not
And
a
then-
good thing.
and-
So you want to follow the direction.
Yeah, yeah. And one problem is you're using it up too quick, so you have to go out back and buy some more so you're not,
Yeah.
you're spending too much money. But more doesn't mean better. In the herbal kingdom, in the herbal science, that's people, if they don't learn anything else from all the various podcasts, more does not always mean better. There's a certain proportion in your herbs, your teas, your bitters, your essential oil. So people should follow the instructions and not assume, just like you said, oh, that's not enough. I made that mistake one time. I had my lavender, my eucalyptus, and a bunch of stuff, and I'm putting it all in there. It kept me up all night because I'm breathing.
Okay.
It was just way too much.
All right.
Okay?
So follow the direction. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
So
Are we
that
ready?
was 4.
That was number 4. So now we're heading to 3.
Ooh.
Number 3.
Do you have a guess what 3 might be?
I don't.
Okay. Eucalyptus
I know I have
oil.
I have a couple. Wait, what? Which one?
Eucalyptus oil.
I like eucalyptus. I like the way it smells.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And, yeah, I love eucalyptus, and yeah. So tell us about eucalyptus. I love how it smells. I did not know it was going to be number 3.
Yeah. Well, it deserves that. Because in diffusers and stuff, and when you're smelling it, eucalyptus opens up the lungs and sinuses. You have sinus congestion, and you're massaging some of the oil with like some lotion or something in your sinuses. It helps drain those sinuses. But just in a diffuser, it's really good. But now, remember when in the old days, this was before diffusers, that, our parents used to boil some water in a pot, and then they put a towel over your head, and they would drop it. Yeah, and they put a few drops.
You just kind of put it over your head, and you're just kind of breathing it
in the fume. Well, eucalyptus is one of those herbs that you would use, in the old-fashioned way, with a few drops and some hot water, where you're breathing that in, and it opens this all up, and then helps everything start to drain so much better.
Oh, wow. Okay.
So it helps, but in doing that and draining, people who suffer with sinus congestion, coughing, the nasal drips, all those types of things, it opens this up. And as it opens it up, it causes it to drain. So sometimes
is that the same? Is that eucalyptus? Is that what's like in like that Vicks vapor rub? Is that what it is?
Yeah. Eucalyptus is one of those herbs that you'll find in a lot of the cough syrups and stuff like that.
A lot of different products. Yeah, it's been around.
Yeah.
I mean, I take it it's been known for a very long time.
Oh, absolutely. Now, here's something people don't know. Eucalyptus oil added to a spray mist, like, with water or witch hazel or something, it chases away mosquitoes, roaches, and rodents.
Oh.
Yeah, because that smell
Mosquitoes,
is too...
roaches, and rodents.
Yeah, I mean, so you could put your eucalyptus oil. Now, if you really want to, you can use number 3 and number 5 together, tea tree oil and the eucalyptus, spray it along those corners, and they would run away like, oh, no, we can't, we can't take
so
this.
They don't like that. So it's a type of natural insect repellent.
Insect repellent,
And
safe. Yeah, and safe, so you're not using some kind of toxic stuff, that
Right, safe as long as you're not drinking it.
Oh, absolutely.
Still don't want to drink it. Yeah, okay.
No. You always want to make sure you're not, drinking any of the essential oil. That's
okay.
Or gargling with them. Okay, it helps with wounds and bites on the skin. It's an antimicrobial, so it deals with harmful microbe. It helps with bacteria and viruses. It's an antiseptic, so it cleans. It helps reduce inflammation and reduce swelling, which causes pain. So when you reduce the swelling, which causes pain, because of the anti-inflammatory property, then things start to move, things start to drain. But I want to mention a couple other things, seeing that to make people understand that it deserves that number 3 status.
All right.
Okay.
All right.
It's an antioxidant. It helps with flus and fevers. It builds the body's immune system, so it makes you stronger. That helps the body heal, and that's just from breathing it or applying it at the bottom of the feet or some other area in the body. So it helps build the immune system, as it's helping with the joint pain and reducing the inflammation. And here's another thing: 10 to 20 drops in an ounce of water is that spray portion for the roaches and rodents. But
all right, 10 to 20 drops.
But eucalyptus helps with mental fog or brain fog and improves mental clarity. So it helps because it opens up the brain. So it's going to help it kind of, cleanse really well, but open up the brain, stimulate the brain. So if you're one of those people that are always in front of a computer, and you start to get that brain fog, like, why does the computer screen look upside down? Or am I upside down? Because you get that brain fog because you're in the computer. Because you know how you get on the computer, you're on there for hours. I got on here at 8 o'clock in the morning. How's it 9 o'clock at night? If I've been on it all day, and your brain is tired, you can, inhale some eucalyptus oil and diffuser oil, just smelling it, and it kind of relaxes the brain and starts to ease that brain fog, especially if you're on deadlines and stuff. Like, about deadlines, for sometimes, you got, day and a half of trying to get something done, and your brain starts spilling out of your ears. You say, where's my eucalyptus? I know I had it around here somewhere. Let me just sniff a little bit. Let me get the aroma in the house. That's eucalyptus.
All right. Wow. So now we did some time ago an entire podcast on nothing but eucalyptus. And if I recall, there are some things that people need to be aware of before that they would consider using eucalyptus. Is that correct?
Yes. But that's really more for using eucalyptus internally, okay?
Okay.
In a sense, like all essential oil, it's moderation. Small amount goes a long way, okay? So long as you're not swallowing the oil, which is very concentrated, and you can do eucalyptus tea, it has some issues with, side effects, or if you're breastfeeding, not you and I, but if you're breastfeeding or something, then you want to be cautious of that, or follow, naturalist or herbalist instructions.
Understood.
So that was number 3.
All right.
I'm ready for number 2. Celebration of number 2. Okay. Oh, it is number 2.
So here's what I've noticed about this software that I'm using for podcasts, and it's I'm discovering this by accident. It's like, watch this.
Yeah, and see, I can see on your face you just love that. I mean,
I love that. So now this is a new one. All right.
Yeah.
So anyone who's just listening on the podcast, this software just adds these inane graphics. If I do a hand gesture,
no.
There's certain gestures I don't even want to know what it would do. So let's just move on to number 2 with no hand gestures.
Our fellow podcasters, it's like a child in a toy store. He's like, you can see his face. He's like, oh, I found this button. Okay, who he had to live with now.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
All right, Doc.
Now,
number 2.
Peppermint oil.
Ooh. I like peppermint.
Yeah, see?
I like peppermint candy anyway.
Oh no, but the oil is even better. Okay.
All right, so let's forget the candy. Let's talk the oil. All right.
Now, just like we said with eucalyptus, peppermint oil is good for mental clarity and brain fog, because it opens up the sinuses. And when it opens up the sinuses, then there's more oxygen flow. Things are calmer. Brain starts to function better. But the eucalyptus oil, I'm still on number three.
Number three.
The peppermint oil.
The peppermint
oil is good for muscle aches and joint pains. It's good for headaches and itching, especially people who have migraine headaches, that really pounding type.
Yeah.
The peppermint oil in a diffuse or something, or in a spray where the smelling opens up and starts to drain the mucus and blockages in that sinuses and in the head, which helps ease those headaches and ease that pain. Okay,
that's going to be tremendously beneficial to some people. Because some people they get those headaches, those migraine headaches, and it's like they just want to be like cocooned somewhere because any noise, any light.
Yeah, especially I've got patients. It's horrible. I've got patients, not to interrupt you, but I've got patients, the migraines are so bad that all the lights have to be out. There has to be complete silence. Any noise, or any lights causes more pain and disruption. Well, this oil helps with that. Eucalyptus does that too. Sometimes people will blend number 3 and number 2 together, which is a real interesting mixture when you do peppermint and eucalyptus together. We're staying with number 2, because it's just staying alone all by itself, but you'll find some similarities, because anything that reduces inflammation and reduces pain safely is a very powerful medicinal, whether it's in bitters or in teas or any form, but especially in the essential oils that we're talking about. That's why the best ones are anti-inflammatory. They reduce pain. They reduce spasm. Different ones have a different intensity, but that's what helps with that. The peppermint has a function of reducing stress. It improves the mental capacity, but it reduces stress. But not just smelling it, but, sometimes some people will take a little bit and they'll put it under their noses, so they're inhaling it.
All right, just a little rub under their nose so they can just kind of breathe that in.
Breathe it in from there. They're massaging the feet with the oil, with like a carrier, like witch hazel or something like that. It calms the nerves in the bottom of the feet, which ends up calming the nerve system anywhere else in the body. That's why a lot of them describe using them on the feet, because it absorbs up through the system and helps the whole body. But then you can apply it in the areas where you're having those spasms of pain. Peppermint oil, you typically 2 to 3 drops of the oil directly into that area you need it, or in your diffuser, or your air purifier or something like that. Okay?
Plus, it'll make your room smell really good too.
Oh yeah. I mean, it'll make your whole house smell better.
Peppermint. I've known people who would use peppermint as a diffuser just because they like the way it smells. I don't know if they even realized it had so many beneficial uses to it.
Yeah, but
now they do if they're listening.
Now, peppermint oil may cause some certain side effects, like heartburn. Especially if you're trying to use it internally, which you really shouldn't do. But if you have heartburn, you can take small amounts of the peppermint mixed with a carrier, like I said before, like witch hazel or maybe sweet almond, and you can apply it, in that area where you have that acid reflux or burning, in the chest area, because then it calms that down and settles that area of the body. So, but then it can cause, if you overuse it, and you think peppermint oil should not have any side effects. I've heard people say, well, it's just peppermint oil, because they're thinking, maybe they're thinking peppermint candy, something like that. But like everything else, there are rules to the road. And it's like driving down the wrong side of the highway. Well, I know how to drive. Well, you're on the wrong side of the highway, so even if you know how to drive, it's still going to be a problem. And I wrote down a list of some of those things. Overusing peppermint oil can cause nausea, vomiting, morning kind of sickness stuff, cramps, diarrhea, gas, sinus and respiratory issues. Now, here's the interesting thing. When you use small amounts of peppermint oil, like externally with a carrier, on your feet or certain areas of the body, then the peppermint oil will help with nausea, vomiting, morning sickness, cramping, diarrhea, inflammation, respiratory issues, when you use in small amounts. When you use too much, then the things it was going to help with in small amount now is contributing to that problem. So, like if I'm saying that peppermint oil will help with nausea, vomiting, morning sickness, when you're using the proportions right, when you use too much, then it can contribute to the morning sickness and the nausea and stuff like that.
I'm hearing, kind of a pattern here with these essential oils, which is probably true of any herbal remedy or almost any type of remedy, is you need to take it in the right quantities. And don't be like me with, eucalyptus and dropping half a bottle in my diffuser. You need to use the correct amounts, and less is better. Less is better because you're saying that these side effects are predominantly caused from people just doing too much of it.
Doing too much of it. With tea tree oil, which was number 5, using it internally when you shouldn't use it internally. But, one of the things, if people don't learn anything else from the podcast, one of the things they have to understand is more does not mean better. They got to understand that, there's a do's and don'ts with most of the very powerful herbs, because they're very powerful, very strongly medicinal, but also when you overuse it can be very dangerous, if you overuse it. So there's a balance. There's exceptions to the rule, but what makes it very powerful medicinally can make it very powerful in the opposite direction when you don't know what you're doing. All right.
Are we ready to go to number 1?
Yeah, do we have a drum roll or something for number 1?
Yeah, I do, but I'm not going to hit the button for that because
No. We're not going to do that.
Right.
We'll be in trouble.
We're a serious podcast. This is a serious podcast.
Of course.
Approaches to good health. So
I
must not laugh or smile.
Yeah, I'll try not to do that.
All right, number one. Number one.
It's not going to work.
Number one essential oil.
Lavender.
Lavender. That's my mom's favorite color, by the way.
Yeah. Okay,
all right.
Yeah. Lavender.
All right, lavender. All right, talk
that's
to us
why
about
you see
lavender.
That's why you see lavender in so many different things, because that's like with the bitters, I always had a king and queen,
right.
of the bitters. But in essential oils, I don't want to put king as the top, but queen as the top when you deal with the essential oils. Because, remember, then you use the essential oils a lot more than we do. And you can use lavender, same as some of the others, in a diffuser, mixed with a carrier, applied to the skin. really, really good for reducing the spasms and inflammation and pain in the muscles and joint. Massaging lavender oil like around your elbows or your wrists or something for stiffness or gout or arthritic kinds of pains. It's very good for helping with sleep deprivation. So when you're having your diffuser, it helps calm the system down where you can.
So kind of like the chamomile.
Kind of like the chamomile. Some people will mix lavender and chamomile together. Lavender is, of course, number one. Chamomile is number three. I think it was number three, right?
It was number four.
Yeah, it might be about there. Yeah, right. It was number 4. I mean, it's still in the top 5.
It's a top 5. All right.
Top 5.
So
now,
all right. So lavender.
Lavender, it reduces stress and anxiety. Especially the stress and anxiety in the nerves, which causes stress and anxiety mentally. So you can have points where you may massage it, like, acupuncturists or acupressure or massage therapists may use lavender oil in some of their massage oil because it helps reduce that anxiety and stress as a massage in the body or helps the spasms in certain areas. So lavender oil is in a lot of the massage oil stuff that massage therapists will use. Then it's used to help with the scent. It diminishes pain and the inflammation when it's applied to certain areas of the body, including the bottom of the feet, but in that area. So if I have pain, say in my elbow, like that tennis elbow or stuff, and I'm massaging the lavender, with a carrier or by itself with some lotion on that area, it's helping that pain in my elbow, because it's helping to calm the pain, which reduces the inflammation, which helps the blood flow better, which then helps the body be able to heal itself better. Okay. It also, along with the pain, it helps protect the body cells. Reducing that antioxidant that deals with those free radicals in the system. Okay.
So again, this is a topical. You're putting it on your skin.
Yeah. Now, essential oils. I'm sorry to stop you, but essential oils. Essential oils, you always think external, unless you're told something
I'm just
different.
trying to get that into my head.
Yeah. It's a very powerful external, applied to the skin, stimulating the senses of the smell. That's where it's most powerful, and that's when you're using it right, and that's what makes essential oils unique, because you're drawing the oil from the flowers, not from the roots or the bitters and stuff. So it's like as effective as the bitters, but the bitters are used internally. The essential oils are always used externally. And they have similar benefits, just applied differently, different concentrations. So, and I've had some people say, well, that lavender oil made me sick. I said, well, what did you do? Well, I had a cup of tea and I put, 10, 15 drops in my tea because I figured it was going to be okay because I'm smelling and it's only 10, 15 drops. Well, no, it's the wrong way. Like you heard me say, you're driving down the wrong side of the highway kind of stuff.
Okay. So, all right. So lavender oil is an antioxidant, anti-inflammatory, can help. And because it's anti-inflammatory, it helps with pain. And it's also very relaxing. It just helps relax the muscle.
Yes.
I'm just kind of repeating what you've told us, but that's kind of how I learn. Wow. It just sounds like just even what you're saying so far, it's amazing. I can see why you have it as number 1.
Oh yeah. It's the queen. All hail to the queen. It's the
all
queen.
All hail to the queen of.
And then there's
oils.
a king. then there's a king. But in essential oil, the queen is the top. You know,
all right,
the bitter
queen is
is
number
the
one.
king. Yeah. Queen is number one, and then we get to the king. So the queen in essential oil would be the lavender. Now, the king or the next thing down from it, you know, is peppermint. Some people will interchange it. Number 2 for them might be eucalyptus, and number 3 is peppermint. So, you know, depending on the person, you know, the peppermint and eucalyptus, you know, can flip, you know, 2 and 3 because they're both, you know, almost equally as good. I'm giving you my order of the 5 essential oils.
That makes sense. That's what we asked for.
So lavender is at the top.
Now, lavender, from what I understand, I mean, it's like antimicrobial. It has some strong benefits because. Go ahead.
Well, no, you finish your question.
Well, so what I've read on lavender is even, you know, certain aspects in the medical profession where some people may have difficulty with certain antibiotics, that lavender, under a doctor's direction, is considered a potential alternative under very certain circumstances. And and I mean, I just think that's amazing. That's an essential oil. But, you know, people think, well, let me tell you what I think. Essential oils, I think of those commercials from years ago with, oh, this has essential oils and all that. And it almost degraded, in a sense, it made it sound like they're so common. Oh, it's essential oils. It's just another ingredient in whatever cream or something, or their goo or whatever that they're selling. And then, to me, who at the time when I really wasn't paying that close attention, it just sounded like a marketing term, to be honest. Essential oils.
And that's how,
I had no idea that they could do these things.
Yeah, and that's how they've been treated. You know, years ago, it's like, you know, a smell good thing. You know, and it was far more than that. And here's the other thing: there are hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of essential oils. You know, I have reference because I've trained people in use of essential oils, you know, and I have reference books that have, you know, 200-300 different types of essential oil, and many of them have very unique qualities. But some of them, like jojoba oil or sweet almond oil or something called ylang ylang. I mean, it's just like, you know, there's a whole world of essential oil that you could deep dive in and never get back to the bitters because the essential oils have just swallowed you up in the essential oil world.
We don't want to leave the bitters. We don't want to leave them.
We don't want to leave them alone. But that's how, you know, when you start digging into, if you get a book on essential oil, and just open it up and say, oh, what's this one say? He'd be like, who knew? You know? I mean, you know, so grapeseed oil, you know, is a carrier oil, but it's essential oil by itself. So there's a whole world. I'm trying to make people that are listening understand that there's a whole world of essential oil, but you start simple, you know, start with, you know, you know, 4, 3, 2, 1. You know, tree oil is like, you know, strictly medicinal. But, you know, the others we listed, and you want to start with them. Get to know them very well. Or, you know, when you have questions, you know, contact me. Or, you know, and it said, like, you know, I heard about the essential oil, you know, and I got this and that going on, you know, what do I need? And I'll point you toward the bitters, you know, or the bitter tonics. But then also what will complement it will be the external with certain types of essential oils.
Well, Doc, if anyone wants to reach out to you, your contact information is popping up on the screen. It's also in the show notes and the transcript. So if they want to reach out to you, they can reach out to you by telephone or through your website. So, Doc, thank you very much for expanding our knowledge and experience regarding essential oils, the top 5. Thank you.
The top 5. Thank you for having
Top
me.
5. All right. Well, that was a fantastic conversation. And thank you very much for Dr. Tates on his top 5 essential oils. Now, a thank you to you, my audience. Thank you for watching. Thank you for liking. Thank you for commenting. And thank you for hitting that button right down there, the subscribe button. It really does. I don't know, the algorithms do something to the channel, and it really helps the channel. So thank you very much. So until next week, this is David Maloof exploring natural approaches to good health. That does it for this episode of Adventures in Good Health. We would like to hear from you regarding this podcast and any suggestions you have for future podcasts. Please subscribe and leave a rating or a review.